morning, honorable members. May I request the door at the back to be closed and for the agenda to be flighted? And may I make use of the opportunity to welcome all the members present. The agenda is in front of us, and that is the agenda as we usually use it in the NAPC. It's a standard agenda. Are there any apologies?
Sorry, House Chair. I just want to find out, where can I put in an item on the agenda?
We must still consider the agenda.
Okay.
I'm now dealing with apologies.
Okay, no,
Let me get Mr. Kaso and then I'll take a round of apologies.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. The speaker is running late. Dr. Kornoff has apologized. Mr. Singh, Mr. Kwankwa, and Mr. Sheikh Imam.
Thank you. Honorable Mulder?
Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Wessels is on a plane. He'll be a bit late. Thank you.
Chief Whip of the Opposition?
Dr. Lotrita has tendered her apologies, Chair.
Deputy Chief Whip?
Thank you, House Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. A standing apology of the Chief Whip of the Majority Party as she's attending the PAP in Gauteng. Thanks.
Thank you. There's no further apologies?
And Honorable Lesoma.
Honorable Lesoma. Thank you very much. And with those apologies, we'll proceed. The consideration of the agenda. We now will consider the agenda as it appears on the screen in front of us. Honorable Member?
Thanks, House Chair. I want to put an item on the agenda, the UK trip that the Chief Whips is going to undertake. So I just want to find out, where do I put it in? Is it in the program? Are we going to attend to it there on that overseas trips, or that is normally on the program, and then I can attend to it there, or I can
Okay,
put it
we'll
as a
deal with it
standalone
under
item
programming.
on the program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I move, Honorable Swart?
Chair, there is a small issue I'd like to raise at a convenient time, with your permission, relating to an incident involving an MP. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, we'll do it after the draft parliamentary program. It is an important matter. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, but it's important for the collective of the meeting to be aware of what happened. Can somebody then move for the adoption of the agenda? The Honorable Deputy Chief Whip of the Majority Party, seconded by the Honorable Swart. We will now consider the minutes of the meeting of the 18th of May. Firstly, for correctness, can we flight those minutes, please, page by page? We're on page 1. Going to page 2. Page 3. These minutes were distributed, so everybody had sight of it. I hope you read it. Page 4. Page 5. That's the last page. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Any corrections? There's no corrections to the minutes. Can a member who were present in the meeting move for the adoption of these minutes? Honorable Kwahube, seconded by the Honorable Boroto. Are there any matters arising? I hand over to Mr. Kaso.
Thank you, Chair. The following matters are arising. The ad hoc committee for the appointment of the public protector, that ad hoc committee will be established today in the House, and the composition was discussed and agreed to in the Chief Whip's Forum. Okay. The composition that has been agreed to, honorable members, is 11 members, 11 voting members, and 14 non-voting members. The committee will report on the 31st of August 2023 in time for the appointment in October. Because the term of the current public protector, I think, expires on the 14th of October, if I'm not mistaken. So that matter is coming up before the House today. The The other matter that was raised relates to matters that served before the Ethics Committee. We were asked to just give an update on those issues. Honorable members, I'll just speak on the ones that have been finalized, not the others that are before that committee. There were issues that affected House Chairperson Frolick, Ms. Jomat Peterson, and the Minister Ngasi. There were no adverse findings. Those have been completed by the committee. No adverse finding on all those three matters. Then there were adverse findings against Honorable Kekana and Honorable Zwane. Those have since been dealt with by the House as well. Thank you so much on that matter. And then the other matter relates to the Maintenance of Surviving Spouses Act. And Legal Services was asked to provide some input on that. And Legal Services has done that. And they are here to assist if there's need for further assistance. Speaker is due to write to the Leader of Government Business on the matter of legislation. That matter is receiving attention. There was a matter concerning a SNAP debate proposed by Honorable Heron. That SNAP debate is now scheduled for the 6th of June. Thank you, House Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Kaso. Are there any further matters arising? I'll start from the Deputy Chief Whip and I'll go down. I've recognized the members.
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson. I wanted to discuss those matters that Mr. Kaso just alluded to. Yes, on the ad hoc committee, we support that we have 11 voting members and 14 non-voting members. That is what we discussed yesterday. Then with the other matters of the ethics, we accept the report, as we know that some of those matters, those affected members, their issues were dealt with by Parliament. So, yeah, those are the issues that I wanted to. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Roto.
No, thank you. Good morning, colleagues. I just wanted to verify, because we're going on a constituency period, that the ad hoc committee for the public protector, it means they will automatically be given permission to attend during the constituency period because of the date that is to conclude.
Honorable Gwahube.
Thanks, House Chair. This can also be dealt with under the committee section, but an update perhaps from the administration on the work of the Section 194 committee, because the last time there was an issue and it seems the work has come to an halt, please. Thanks.
Okay, let me start with the last one. We'll deal with it under the committee report. Secondly, the Honorable Roto, you're correct. As we indicated last week, that committee on the ad hoc committee to appoint the public protector will have to meet during the constituency period. There's also other committees that may be requested to meet, and I'm in consultation with the Chief Whip of the majority party on those matters. And we also undertook, Honorable Gwahube, you can recall, that we will give an indication to the Chief Whips before we rise, so that you know which committees, and so that you know where your members are and how they can be utilized during the constituency period. Honorable Lakude, thank you for your support on the composition, and that motion will serve this afternoon. Honorable Swart.
Chair, I'm not sure if this is arising, but following Honorable Heron, the ACDP also requested a SNAP debate, and maybe at the next meeting we could just get feedback from that. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we'll follow up on the matter, Honorable Swart, and we will report in the next meeting. Honorable Pablo.
Is it going to be recorded under matters arising? Because it's not a matter arising.
Well,
No, but you see, this is the problem.
no, I'm chairing. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you. The matter will be dealt with, because the issue of SNAP debates is in the minutes of the meeting, right? So we will follow up what the honorable member has said. But you're correct. It's a new item by a party. But in the spirit of this wonderful meeting that we're having, I allow that honorable member just to put the matter on the table. Okay? Thank you. You have surety now. Thank you. Let us proceed. That concludes matters arising. I now want the report by the committee section.
Thank you, Honorable House Chairperson. A very good morning to all the members as well as my colleagues. My report will be very short this morning. The first slide I would like to report on will be slide number 2. On this slide, we wish to report that there are 31 ordinary bills before the NA committees. From this slide, I move to slide number 4. On this slide, also the Portfolio Committee on Health is finalizing its work on the National Health Insurance Bill by Friday, 26th of May. Initially, we reported that they will be finalizing on the 24th. However, they've indicated that they are finalizing this Friday. Then the next reporting slide will be slide number 9. On this slide, we are reporting the Climate Change Bill before Portfolio Committee on Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. All indications are that this committee will be finishing its work on this bill on the 14th of June. The next slide will be slide number 16. On this slide, we also wish to inform the meeting that the Standing Committee on Appropriation will also finish the appropriation bill on the 6th of June as planned. Then the last reporting slide, Honorable House Chair, will be the work of the Committee on Section 194 inquiry. If you look at the report that was distributed, the last committee meeting was held on the 17th of May, and the committee then intends to revise its program around its work, and they will update us and advise us, and we will accordingly then update the slide as to by when they intend to finish their work. Thank you very much, Honorable House Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Giba. It's now open for questions of clarity on matters of emphasis. Honorable Kochube, you asked the question around the 194 inquiry.
Yes, Chair. So I note Ms. Giba's report that they are likely to revise their program. I just wanted to find out whether or not the legal issues have been resolved, because my understanding is that that was part of the big delay, and whether or not we're anywhere near resolving as to what's going to happen with that. Thank you.
Honorable Tlakude.
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson. As a person who's also serving in that committee, what we know is that the legal issues are not as yet resolved. We are waiting for that. We agreed to adjourn to give the public protector and to sort out her legal issues with the legal issues with the PPSA's office. So that's where we are now. So we want to have a fair process so that we are not accused of proceeding without the PP having her legal reps. But it's not going to be forever, Honorable Chairperson. We gave them date to say by this time they must be done with that. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Tlangwini.
Thank you, House Chair. I just wanted to check with you, Chair, and you will correct me if I'm wrong and guide me. Because in some instances, this division is also partly have to work with committees that is going to be established. So I just want to find out where we're going to slot in, because we have received a letter from Parliament in establishing the Planning and Monitoring Evaluation Committee. So I think with this committee must also give us in terms of, or the division must give us in terms of how far have they come with that process, and give us an update as the programming committee as to what is the processes thereof and the planning stages within that, so that we follow the process through to the T of the establishment of that committee. Thank you.
Okay, let's start with the easy one first. That committee is meeting tomorrow morning. They're having their first meeting and the chairperson will be elected. From there onwards, they will determine their program and it will become part of the report that will come to the programming committee. Mrs. Adikari, do you have any specific information on
Yes,
the questions asked in terms of the 194 committee?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, honourable members. The Solicitor General has secured the services of a new legal firm of attorneys to brief counsel, and the Public Protector has indicated that she wants to retain Advocate Mpofu. So the new team is now on board, the new briefing team, the lawyers in other words, because her previous lawyers have withdrawn. Thank you.
Thank you. I must just inform the program committee that the Speaker's office is keeping a very close eye on this process. I had a meeting with the Speaker on the matter on Tuesday. We wrote to the chairperson of the committee, the Honourable Jantjie, to provide us with an update, a written update, as to exactly where we are, so that the process must now reach its finality and conclusion. It's almost a process that just continues. It's gathering its own momentum, and it does not reflect very well on how the entire process will ultimately be brought to its logical conclusion, and that is to finalize the work in front of it. There are huge costs involved in doing all of this, but we will keep the programming committee updated on the developments. Can we have the report now by the Bill's office, please?
Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I will be reporting from slide number 2. On slide number 2, we're indicating that we've got 31 bills that are before the NA committees. And of the 31 bills, Honorable Chair, the Land Court Bill was passed by the NCOP with proposed amendments and returned to the Portfolio Committee on Justice for consideration of the NCOP's amendments. And the next one is the Public Service Amendment Bill, which was introduced as B 13 of 2023, a proposed Section 76 bill, and it was referred to the Portfolio Committee on Public Service. The next slide is slide number 4. In slide number 4, we're reporting that the Correctional Services Amendment Bill was certified and is being prepared for introduction as soon as it has complied with all the rules. Thank you, Honorable Chair. That's all from us.
Thank you, Advocate, for the report. Are there any questions of clarity? Input? None. We proceed to the next item on the agenda, and that is the consideration of the draft parliamentary program. Deputy Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson Frolick. I'm sure we all have the program in front of us. Just to indicate that there are no changes to the program. Many plenaries on budget votes are continuing until Tuesday the 30th of May in the morning. Parliament budget vote is scheduled for that afternoon, as well as consideration of reports on budget votes. Reports on salary determination for the Financial Fiscal Commission and promotion and protection of the rights of cultural, religious, and linguistic communities are also scheduled for that day. As practice, kindly notes that there will be no declarations on the reports on budget votes and will therefore be taken as one. Parties who wish to indicate their objections on specific votes will be afforded the opportunity to do so. As a reminder, the presidency budget vote is scheduled for Wednesday, the 31st of May, with a reply by the President on the 1st of June. Then the SNAP debate, as requested by the Honorable B. Heron, in terms of Rule 130 on failure of the government to extradite persons implicated in corruption, as demonstrated by the recent case in the United Arab Emirates, and the consequences thereof, is scheduled for the 6th of June. A debate on a topic from external bodies and international engagements is planned for the 13th June. Further details will be provided next week. Then on the program, what we are popularizing is highlighted in red, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's no longer in red because we discussed in the Chief Whips Forum yesterday and we agreed on the parliamentary program. So we always receive the parliamentary program every week. That's why I'm saying that I'll not go page by page to say on this day this will happen. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. If there are additions, Mr. Kaso will do so. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Kaso, is there anything you want to add? Anything on the program that is presented? We'll come to your issue, Honorable Member. May we also just a gentle reminder to the technical team that we get the theme for the debate on Youth Day as soon as possible. Of course, it's always good that we reflect that theme in the program so that everyone who reads the program knows exactly what will be debated under that theme. Mr. Kaso, the issue that is being raised by the Honorable Ntlangwini, I'm aware there was a letter that was also written about this, but can you just give us an update on the matter, please?
Thank you, Chair. I think it's important to contextualize the issue. There are currently 2 study tours that the NA is preparing for. The one is by the Chief Whips Forum to Ireland and Kenya. It's a benchmarking study tour. And the other one that Honorable Ntlangwini has raised is a study tour initiated by the Rules Committee and within that scope. And it came as a result of the reports that were given on the State Capture Commission, but also there are other issues that the study tour is going to investigate there. So that study tour is going to the UK. It will be in July. And of course there was a letter from the EFF that needed clarity on a few things, and the Speaker has responded to that. Some of the issues that will be dealt with by that study tour relates to oversight on the presidency. Of course, we know in the UK you have a Prime Minister. There is a committee, for instance, that deals with that there, but it's not the only issue. There will be other issues that relate to the mandate of the Rules Committee that the study tour will also deal with in the UK. The dates for that study tour must still be finalized, but House Chair, that is the essence of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kasu. Is there any comment, Honorable Ntlangwini?
Thank you very much, House Chair, and thank you, Mr. Kaso, for the response. Can we please see the letter of the Speaker because we haven't seen it in her response of the UK study tour? Chair, in light of what earlier on have just been raised on the committee that is going to be established of the Planning and Evaluation Committee, this study tour was initially planned to look into such committees that will do oversight over the President and a committee that will do oversight over the President. So now that committee is being established, and that will be a waste of money to go to UK to just go and find out how does a Rules Committee work. I mean, there are many platforms that we can take and do benchmarking in terms of this Rules Committee, and then to go on a study tour to UK. Why not doing benchmarking with other African countries? Why is UK, why do we even want to do a benchmarking with UK, for instance? This is a waste of money that we have constantly said can be rediverted to other services within Parliament. If you even can see now on the bench that you are sitting, it's dilapidated. And we want to take an excursion trip to go and read of rules.
where this money can be rerouted to services that we really need. We have a birth office that is understaffed. We have translation services that is highly understaffed. Let's think about it, members. Stop just thinking and seeing it's people in red that is raising this issue. Let's think with our conscience that this is a waste of money. Let's redivert this money to something else, and then see on a later stage if you so want to go to UK. But right now, Parliament is falling apart, and we want to take an excursion of a trip to UK to learn about rules. We have been in this agenda for 26 years on a democratic parliament, and you want to go on the 26th year, you want to go to a trip to UK to go and do benchmark on something we have been doing for 26 years. It's a waste of money.
Thank you. Your comments are noted. On a lighter note, Honorable Ntlangwini, maybe those who go to the UK and Ireland and Kenya can also include carpentry in their oversight that they will do. So if your members go to Ireland and Kenya, please tell them to look into carpentry and finishing of building cupboards and all those type of things. Let me start. I'll come to you, Deputy Chief Whip, the Chief Whip of the Opposition. Honorable Roto, you had your hand up as well? Yes. And then the Honorable Roto, and then the Honorable Tlakude.
Chair, just for record purposes, I just do want to caution that we perhaps not conflate the committee that has been established on planning, monitoring, and evaluation versus the committee that we would like, which is a committee on vote one. Because I would hate in the conversation for people to conveniently say that, well, the desire for a vote one committee has been met. It has not been met. And that the vote one committee is something entirely different from the committee on monitoring, planning, and evaluation. And so I just want to make that clarification, because both of those things should and can coexist. Thanks.
Welcome to the Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, your apology has been noted that you'll arrive late. If you wish to, you can take. No, should I proceed chairing the meeting? Okay, thank you. Honorable Roto?
No, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that one of vote one and evaluation. And secondly, we had a meeting of rules. Everybody was represented. Every person who's supposed to be in the Rules Committee was represented. The decision was taken. And this is not the platform where we are going to reopen that matter. We have agreed, and the preparations are being done. So please, let's not waste time on that issue of the trip that is wasting money. We know what we are doing. There was a motivation towards us agreeing to that. Let me leave it at that. Thanks.
Honorable Tlakude?
Thank you very much, Honorable House Chairperson. I think maybe for us to be able to close this matter, because it's raised everywhere. Whenever there's a platform to say something, this matter is being raised. So I think from this meeting, we must close it once and for all. Honorable House Chairperson, the subcommittee on rules was seized with this issue of the establishment of the committee to oversee the president. Then the submission was made by Honorable Singh, who came to present to the subcommittee. And we couldn't agree. Our agreement was that this matter must be given to the Parliamentary Budget Office so that they can advise on how to move on with it. Then the Parliamentary Budget Office was given some time, which was not enough, to go and prepare a report and come and present again. We had a Rules Committee meeting, of which we reported that this matter now is in the Budget Office. So the establishment of the committee was sent back to the subcommittee on rules. We dealt with it, the budget, the Parliamentary Budget Office presented a report, and in their report, what they said was that they needed more time, they needed more resources to do a comprehensive study in this regard. So, people where they are hanging on that report was the one-liner towards the end of that report that says a committee may be established. Then the report was analyzed and we came to a conclusion that we must allow them, they must be given enough resources and enough time to come with that comprehensive report. We went to a rules committee on the 25th of April. This matter was presented, the report of the subcommittee on rules. That is where a decision was taken that indeed there's a need to embark on a study tour with this regard to this matter. And we are not going to embark on a study tour for excursion. Parliament has always undertaken study tours to learn the best practices from countries with the same system. That's how Parliament has been operating. So it's not new that now the subcommittee, the Rules Committee is embarking on this study tour. We are not going to learn about the rules, but how they do things, how they oversee the office of the Prime Minister. That is what we're going to learn about, so that when we come back, we have information that will also assist us in moving forward with regard to this issue. Because we know the presidency, there are many committees under the presidency, and oversight is being done through many mechanisms that are there. So, Honorable House Chairperson, I just want to emphasize that a decision of the Rules Committee cannot be overruled by any other committee. So this was a decision that the Speaker has taken so that we prepare ourselves and prepare for the next 7th Parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Honorable Papu, and then I will give an opportunity to
I
speak.
think the UK arose because the Parliamentary Budget Office, when they were doing a scan of the world and looking at, they said there are very few countries where there's oversight on the presidency. One example they could get was the UK on the Prime Minister. They raised in the report areas where they are looking at, where chairpersons of committees come together in that committee, but they couldn't get the essence of what, like the committee you chair, but they couldn't get the essence of the actual work with that committee do when they requested the information. Because that information you can get from your MPs who actually do that. So the reason the selection was based on that issue of very few countries which do oversight on the presidency. So it's not because there was just a choice made. It was in that report of the Parliamentary Budget Office. I know our comrade on the side has got political issues with the UK and whatever, but that's the reason we have to go there. Sometimes in international relations, you visit even people you don't agree with. But I think that I was just explaining this part of the UK. Actually, we nearly said because there are few countries, we're not going to experiment in South Africa with this one. But then there was a compromise view which other parties agreed. Let's go and look, maybe that model can help. We come back, we assess it, and say whether we agree or we don't agree. The problem is that the PBO couldn't get the substance of that committee when they requested information from the UK. Maybe it was because it was officials or something, and then that information, that's why they wanted the extra time. Because members will say, we can't adopt a committee when we don't know actually what they do, what are the issues they look at. And our system is a hybrid of South Africa. It's a combination of various systems. But there is a Westminster, there's a Canadian model, there are African certain African elements in it and
Thank
so
you.
on. So,
Thank you. You're giving an introduction now to the preface of the report of that study tour. Before I give this honorable speaker an opportunity, let me just emphasize what the Honorable Wahube, the Chief Whip of the Opposition, said. In terms of the committee that will be established tomorrow, there's a specific minister dealing with performance monitoring and evaluation, and that committee will oversee that. It doesn't replace what was the original intention of the request that was made and the input that was made by the opposition parties as to why there should be a minister in the presidency. The Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and my sincere apologies, colleagues, that I couldn't get here on time. But I'm just concerned that this kind of work can be perceived as an excursion. I think it's something which I would like us to just do away with, because we will be creating a perception amongst South Africans that we do not know what we are doing. But fortunately, I also hear the honorable member mentioning that this matter has been on the agenda of Parliament for many years, which is true. And I think it's on that basis that the agreement, a discussion was held, and that the agreement that there should be this kind of trip, which will be undertaken by the Rules Committee. It was on the basis of the fact that this matter has been under discussion for a long, long time. And my view, which is what I presented as well to the Rules Committee, is that we must finalize this matter now. We can't move on to the 7th Parliament with this matter lingering on. We need to take a decision so that come the next group next year, after the election, they know exactly what to do. So, we proceed, honorable members, on the basis of the decision of the Rules Committee, which was not imposed on the Rules Committee. We all agreed. And we will then, we've started working on it. Arrangements are advanced, are at an advanced stage right now. So we will proceed. And if a party feels uncomfortable with the trip and feels that it's a waste of money, then the party may as well withdraw its member of the Rules Committee from that trip. Secondly, I've also heard that there has been a suggestion that maybe we should pull together the Chief Whip's trip. That was a trip that had absolutely nothing to do with the Rules Committee. It's a different matter altogether. So the whips of parties will proceed to Ireland and Kenya as agreed, but the subcommittee on rules, as has been agreed at the last meeting, will proceed on the basis of the decision which we took. The other matters about financing, I fully agree with the honorable member that yes, there are challenges of finance everywhere in government, in the legislatures, everywhere. But we cannot use that, because right now on my desk, I have, I don't know how many applications I have. People suddenly are realizing that in the past 4 or 5 years, they've not undertaken study tours. Suddenly now I'm only, in fact, yesterday, I received 2 more, or in addition to the pile, which of applications, and people have not withdrawn from those. People have agreed to form part of those delegations. It is only this one. I cannot allow for a situation where a matter has been subjected to a discussion over such a long period, and we appear as indecisive. We don't know what to do. So, so we're proceeding. Those members, I did fortunately write to parties, because here in the Rules Committee, it was also agreed that, Speaker, you may just decide and propose who should go And I did that. I've written to parties. Parties know that honorable member, chair of the subcommittee on rules, will lead the delegation, and the rest of the members will form part of that delegation. So on this one, I'm not backing down, and I'm really hoping that members, please, will ensure that their parties form part of, it's a very important matter, this, because now you have a proposal which has been on the table for some time from parties who form part of the Rules Committee. Then you also have others who are saying, no. And we said, let us find, based on the report which was commissioned by the Rules Committee from the Budget Office, that because there is a system which has this kind of oversight, where a prime minister appears twice a year before a committee. So we said, let's proceed, let's see. What are the terms of reference of that committee? What exactly? How does it unfold? Everything. So, colleagues, please, I really caution us that let's not take decisions and 2-3 minutes or days down the line, then we change our own decision. It's not even a decision of the programming committee, actually. It's a decision of the Rules Committee, which members are a part of, and people should have raised that matter at the Rules Committee. At the Rules Committee, everybody agreed. It was at the Rules Committee. Thank you.
No, thank you. Honourable members, that is an item that doesn't belong here. I allow the item on the agenda so that we can once and for all, honourable people, bring this discussion to an end. This decision is standing. The Speaker made the decision, and it will be implemented as such. Honourable Swart, you had a matter that you wanted to bring to our attention. You can do so now, please.
Thank you, Chairperson, for allowing me just to briefly bring an incident that happened yesterday to ACDP MP Honourable Maurice Soekers. She was at the Maragong Local Municipality, Warrington, Northern Cape yesterday when she was trying to assist community members access to water. There's a desperate situation there at the water construction site. She was denied access and then assaulted. This is in full view of the public and media. There are media reports already. A criminal case has been laid. It is being investigated. She's fine. She's all right. She's complained this morning of a sore back, but I thought it important just to bring it to our attention. Any intimidation, any threats to any MP, in this case physical assault on her, must be condemned in the strongest possible terms, because it is an MP exercising oversight. This isn't just a random act, and I thought I would just bring it to your attention. I'm pleased the Speaker is here as well, because it is already in the media, and I appreciate you allowing me to bring it to the attention of this meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll get a report from you, Honourable Swart, as the WAP of the committee, of the party, to be sent to the Speaker's office so that we have the full details, as well as the case that was opened. It's unacceptable. It's not only deplorable, it must be dealt with. We're heading into an election season, and this must be nipped in the bud wherever it occurred. It doesn't matter which party that MP belongs to, it's a member of parliament, and they enjoy all the rights and privileges as contained in the Constitution and also in the rules. Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Frolik. I just want to say it doesn't matter, irrespective of the circumstances. I think that we should condemn that, because that's a dangerous trend, which will end up with people being unable to exercise their oversight function. Not only that, we may as well one day have fatalities as a result of this. So it should be condemned. We should also follow up with the police and see if indeed the case number is there, everything, so that we monitor what will happen to that case. That's my view.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you. You've brought the matter now to conclusion on the way forward. Are there any announcements, honourable members? Honourable Tombela?
Sorry, Chair.
Is it an announcement?
No, it's not an announcement. I just wanted to comment on the issue.
I've
that was
closed the
raised
net.
by- Yeah, I had already raised my hand up.
The speaker has spoken.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
One announcement on the committee on the PMP. We've only received names from the ANC and the DA. We're appealing to the other parties to please submit the names. The meeting is proceeding tomorrow, even with the names that have since been received. Thank you.
Any further announcements? There's no further announcements. All the members, this brings us to the end of this meeting, and the meeting is now concluded and will rise. Thank you very much.